All right, everybody. The college football playoff ranking is out, and I just watched it. We're going to compare that to my top 12 teams. Don't confuse that with the resume ranking. The resume ranking is different. It's just who deserves to be there by who they beat and their resume. My top 12 is just my eye test. Okay, it's two different things. And I think it should be one or the other. How can you reconcile splitting hairs with one of the two, both of them? You cannot combine the two. You have to go this way or that way, and the committee just refuses to do that. So it's not the most deserving. It's not who you beat, but it's also not the eye test and what you look like versus the schedule that you had. What are we to do as fans? The college football playoff ranking had Ohio State number one, and so did the resume ranking, I might add. Ohio State's resume is number one, but Indiana gets my eye test. I think they look like the best team in the nation, but they haven't done it versus the best team, versus the best teams like Ohio State has. And maybe that's the homer in me. They went to Ann Arbor and demolished Michigan. They got over that hurdle. But Indiana, they look damn good. They really do. The loser of the Big Ten should be below number two. So if Indiana loses, they should not drop. If Ohio State loses, Indiana goes to one, Ohio State goes to two. If Ohio State loses, they should go to two. Indiana goes to one. Anyway, that's what I think about that part of it. All right, now number 3 in the college football playoff ranking is Georgia, 11-1. Can Georgia beat Alabama for the SEC championship? Can they beat them, period? Is this a projection of that happening by the committee? Why are they number 3? The resume ranking had them at number 4. I also, in my ranking, have them at number 4. So they're up to number 3 here for the playoff committee. Why? Can you explain that to me? And then number 4 for the playoff committee is Texas Tech. Out of the Big 12, 11-1. Texas Tech beat BYU. But BYU has a better resume, in my opinion. And not just in my opinion, but for the resume ranking that I do. Round 2 is very welcome. So who is really the best team of these two? They're going to play again here in the conference championship game. Number 5 is Oregon. Oregon is 11-1. They have 3 quality wins at Iowa, USC at home, and at Washington. That's better than number 6, so I can get along with this. Better than Ole Miss's 11-1. They only have 2 good wins, Tulane and at Oklahoma. Oregon is number 6 in the resume ranking, and Ole Miss is number 11. So they shouldn't even be next to each other, but they are right here. They are firmly in the college football playoff as far as the committee goes. Number 7 is Texas A&M, 11-1. I don't know if they are better than Oklahoma and Alabama, even with only 1 loss. And I don't have them better than those. Well, I have them better than one of those 2 teams. We'll get to that. But Texas A&M is number 10 in the resume ranking. It's not good. They beat Tulane and at Oklahoma. That's it. Speaking of Oklahoma, they're number 8. So I understand that, head-to-head or whatever. They're behind Texas A&M at 10-2. They have another loss too. But they have a 4-2 record versus 4 lost teams or better, and that is the best in the nation as far as Oklahoma is concerned. They beat Alabama. They didn't lose to Florida State in the preseason. Their schedule was daunting, and they went 10-2. I understand why they are ahead of Alabama. I had them there too. The resume ranking, the resume ranking has them there too, so it's deserved. This is the thing. Oklahoma is number 7 in the resume ranking, 8 in the playoff ranking, and number 11 in my eye test, in my ranking. What do you do with that? I do not envy this playoff committee. They ranked Alabama number 9, who the resume ranking had number 8, who I have number 3. We'll get to it. They're 10-2. They're 4-1 versus 4 lost teams or better, and that is great. They won at Georgia, which is probably the best win in the nation of the entire season. Number 10, the playoff committee had Notre Dame. The resume ranking had them at number 9. They're 10-2. Notre Dame is the 3rd best 2-loss team, behind Oklahoma and Alabama. So I agree with that from the playoff committee as far as deservedness. But number 11, BYU. They're 11-1. If they beat Texas Tech, they're going to move up. If they lose, they're out. I disagree with all of this. The resume ranking has them at number 3 in the nation, and I have them at number 10. I think they should be in, even if they lose to Texas Tech for a second time. Their wins are as follows. At Eastern Carolina, who's an 8-4 team, it's a road win, versus Group of 5. At Arizona, who's 9-3, and just outside of the Big 12 championship game. They beat Utah at home. They won at Iowa State, who was an 8-4 team, and then they beat TCU to end their regular season, another 8-4 team. 5 quality wins for BYU. Only 3 teams have such wins. 5 of them. Ohio State, Indiana, and BYU. So the resume ranking had them at number 3. The playoff committee has them at number 11. Where will I have them? You'll have to stay tuned for my ranking. Miami. They ranked Miami, the playoff committee did, at 10-2. And they basically said they are out, and rightfully so, because of the Group of 5 representative. Whoever wins, and then this is another interesting thing, the ACC sucks this year. So say 2 Group of 5 champions are better than the ACC champion. They're both getting in. And if the ACC champion isn't getting in, then how is Miami going to? They're not even in. They are number 14 in the resume ranking. And they're nowhere near my eye test ranking. Miami, that is. So, Miami beat Notre Dame. Who cares? Texas A&M beat Notre Dame. No one gives a shit about that either. I have them lower. So the thoughts on the playoff committee ranking. First of all, they have number 1 and number 2, same as all 3 rankings. Theirs, the resume ranking, and my eye test. That is good. Has number one and number two ever played in a conference championship game leading into a playoff? I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. So, how will the loser be viewed after that? I say they've got to remain 1-2, no matter the game. I don't know if they project or what the committee's parameters are this season. But 11 of the top 12 teams that they had are the same as the resume ranking. But they have Miami in, and the resume ranking has North Texas as the 12th best resume in the nation at 11-1. Second of all, like I said, if Duke, the 7-5 team, wins the ACC over Virginia, then James Madison, if they win theirs at 12-1, should be in, as well as the American Conference champion. The American is better than ACC. Is the Sun Belt champion better than the ACC champion? I digress. All right, here's my top 12. Here are the teams that I think are the best. I look at them, I watch them, throw everything out the window, all the stats, all the deservedness, resumes. Who's the best? And I have number one, Ohio State. I don't know how anyone could have a different top two. The question is, will they remain the top two after one loses the Big Ten title game? Number two is Indiana. Number three for me, eye test wise, is Alabama. Because of the quarterback, the head coach, and their overall roster. Take Florida State in week one out of it. It's part of the resume, and that's why you can't do that. That's why they're number 9 and number 8 in that category. But man, you look at eye test. Alabama's the best. They have the best win in the nation. They're great. Number 4 for me is the team that they beat on the road that makes them look great, and that is Georgia. Kirby Smart has been here, and he has done it over the course of his tenure. Gunnar Stockton is the game manager that he loves. He complements the roster very well for Georgia. Great defense, great lines of scrimmage, quarterback. Number 5 is Texas Tech. For me, eye test wise, they took the money and they ran with it. All these bought pieces gelled together very nicely under, Joey McGuire, right? The team gelled together very nicely. They beat BYU. Can they beat BYU again? And even if they don't, I still think they have the resume to still be in the playoff. But I have Texas Tech as the better team right now. I think they're going to beat BYU twice. Oregon, I have number 6. It's a great roster, great coach, and a great game manager. That's from the state of Michigan and Dante Moore. Dan Lanning and company, great wins, only one loss. They improved throughout the season. Penn State, that game there for the whiteout was epic at the time. Just eye test wise, I think they're the 6th best team in the nation. Number 7 is Ole Miss, and that's even after Lane Kiffin went to LSU. Listen, Bo Schembechler once fired Bill Frieder, a Michigan basketball coach, in 1989, ahead of the March Madness tournament. And Bill Frieder was wanting to go to Arizona State or one of those Arizona places, and Bo was like, "Oh, fuck that! You don't want to be here, you're gone. Either you're here or you're gone. You're not playing us. You're not gonna be able to use this team." And guess what happened right after that? The very same season, Steve Fisher, the interim head coach, went on to win the national championship for Michigan basketball. That could happen for Ole Miss. They're a damn good team. And they've been coached well. We'll see what coaches are there for the playoff, but they're number 7 still for me, ahead of Notre Dame, who is number 8. Notre Dame lost to Texas A&M and Miami, 2 really good teams. But Carr, their quarterback, is another Michigan man, grandson of Lloyd Carr, went to Notre Dame. He's good. And they have improved as Texas A&M and Miami have lost and regressed since the early portion of the season. I got Notre Dame ahead of both of those teams in my eye test. The resume ranking has them ahead. The College Football Playoff Committee has them ahead. They're better. Number 9 is Texas A&M for me in the eye test. I need to see them beat someone other than Notre Dame and Missouri. Notre Dame early, Missouri mid-season. I thought the SEC was great. I thought, it was a gauntlet. How come Texas A&M, their only 4-loss team in the ACC that they beat is Missouri? Easy schedule. I got to see more. Number 10 is BYU. Number 3 in the resume ranking, Kalani Sitake might be in tune with his team more than anyone else. Listen, this guy lost his quarterback because he had sexual relations with someone he's not going to marry. So he had to be gone, and then Brockmeyer, whatever, come in, and he's running the show. This roster was elite to enter the season. And Sitake is doing all the right things. 11-1. Their only loss is to Texas Tech, who I have at number 5. Can they beat Texas Tech this week to make the college football playoff? I think even if they don't win the Big 12 championship, they should still be in this college football playoff. Because, they're playing in their title. Oklahoma is not. This is the dichotomy of how you want to rank teams. The defense for Oklahoma is unbelievable. The offense is good versus scrubs like Michigan. But can you win 4 games straight and win the national championship? You're out of the SEC title game. I don't know if you can, but you are still deserved. And even eye test wise for me, you're the number 11 team in the nation. Number 12 was difficult because I'm not doing this like I have in weeks past. I'm just simply giving you the 12 teams that I think are the best here at the end. Utah. Another Big 12 team, yes. Whittingham is great as a head coach. He's been there a long period of time, and I love that. Also, they had to, they had quarterback problems last year. They came out this year and 10-2 in the Big 12. Their losses aren't bad. They have some good wins. Well, one, Arizona State, but not. They don't have as many opportunities to beat these really good teams like Big Ten and SEC teams do. They just don't. So that's my 12 best team as far as I test. And then, where does James Madison fall into all this? How are they going to screw everything up? But yeah, the playoff ranking, the resume ranking, and my eye test are somewhat different. But 11 of these teams are the same. So how can I be angry with whatever the committee decides to do? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you are angry with what I had to say, voice your frustrations down below. Maybe I'll respond. Other than that, what a conference championship week we have coming up. And I cannot wait. Even though my University of Michigan's out of it, and we have a bowl game of some sort to look forward to. And hopefully a massive philosophy change from Sharon Moore. But that's another video. What do you guys think about what the playoff committee ranking is? What my top 12 is? And what the resume ranking top 12 is? I'll put that on a card somewhere. You go look at that too. It's just teams on a piece of paper. Well, it's this right here. That's the resume ranking. How can you argue with that? Have a great day, everybody.